Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm going to be playing Arc Raiders on Steam Deck. So Arc Raiders is a UE5 game, and it's a UE5 game without Nanite nor Lumen, and the Steam Deck compatibility is marked as unknown as of right now, but on the Proton DB, it's on gold. That means that at least on Linux, is not completely broken. Once you see this on video format, will be basically cuts of the live stream. If you want to see the entire VOD of the live stream or want to talk to me about anything, there's a link in the pinned comment once this becomes a video. So it's basically highlights from the stream. Okay, it's crashing on startup. Let's try Proton Experimental. That's what some people said in Proton DB. Okay, it launched. There's an icon behind me. Doing good. And I want to thank Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. Instant Gaming is a website where you can find cheaper games for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Right now, you can find the game we're playing today, Arc Raiders, for $34.69 US, for Steam, Battlefield 6 as well for $67.31. Or also pre-order games like Call of Duty Black Ops 7, that releases in 13 days. Personally, for the Steam Deck, I highly recommend Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Fantastic game, lots of hours of gameplay for $35.47 US. We're also giving away one free game to one of you guys each month of your choice of Instant Gaming. Just hit participate, follow myself and Instant Gaming in social media for more chances. And the last winner, Abe, chose Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Again, fantastic game. So thanks again to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. Let's continue. Okay, so by default, 800p. Okay, TAAU, which is cheaper than TSR. Resolution scale automatic, so by default it goes to 96%. I don't know if that changes anything. RTX on static, so there's no ray tracing, and everything on low. Okay, this seems fair to me. Oh, maybe it's because I'm using a mouse. Hold up. Yeah, okay, this game is not friendly if you're using mouse and keyboard on Steam Deck. That's probably because how it detects the mouse and keyboard. If I'm using mouse and keyboard, the game is struggling to detect it. It's trying to use the controller, forcing the controller. So if I use mouse and keyboard, this happens, but if I use controller, it's fine. Maybe that's why it was bugged, I think. So again, 67% resolution. You can go higher if you want to. You should be fine. I think 67 accounts well for when there's a lot of explosions and people fighting in the same room. Then when it comes to shadows, low, it disables the dynamic shadows. So your character won't have a shadow. Many things that move do not have shadows. Your flashlight doesn't cast shadows, which can help with visibility. Post-processing on medium keeps the ambient occlusion. That's why I keep it on medium. Textures on low, because despite low VRAM usage on this game, with textures on medium, the 16 gigabytes that the Steam Deck has, 12 gigabytes go to the system, and the other 4 end up filling all the 16 gigabytes that the Steam Deck has. So we need to keep this on low to have some extra memory to spare, to avoid big stutters. And then the foliage and reflections, something like this. And glow illumination on low. But that will be what I'm doing. I'm going to restart the game just to be sure. After a few minutes of spawning, the frame times get better. And again, I think you can increase the resolution if you wanted to. I'm keeping it low just to give it some room to spare when there is more effects on screen and stuff. But the CPU still cries from time to time. Oh, hi there. And yeah, some texture popping. But again, considering it's a new UE5 game on Steam Deck, it runs better than I expected. Have you had any crashes? Yes, I did have a crash at the beginning when I was tweaking the FPS lock inside the game. But the game crashes when I'm using mouse and keyboard as well, and it's a stutter fest there as well. So yeah, again, I'm pretty surprised with this performance. And the fact that you can still increase the resolution is a big deal, in my opinion. So let's see how it runs with analog frame rate now to finish off my fiddling around. Let me hide in this bush. And let's see, let's unlock it. Oh, the CPU. Oh, but it's so much smoother. My eyes. But see, the CPU doesn't like that one bit. It's pretty smooth now, looking. But, yeah. As soon as something happens, the frame time will spike. But you can keep it unlocked if you prefer that. Still feels pretty good. Pretty responsive. But no crashes so far, apart from using mouse and keyboard the first time. Oh! Yeah, of course. Excuse me, sir. Pew pew! Please don't shoot! Oh, dude, the reload takes so freaking long. Okay. Let the robot do its thing. Come on, robot! Freaking reload! Okay. Oof. No! Dang it! Not the freaking robot! It feels pretty smooth with unlocked frame rates. With lock to 30, it's okay. But of course, since it's a lower frame rate and we're using the in-game, not the in-game, the SteamOS FPS lock, that is not perfect, you can feel some latency. Again, this works here, but you still drop into the 30s, even if you go for the absolute lowest settings. Jesus Christ. This map is destroying me. Okay. Did I get him? No. Increase the draw distance a bit. Add shadows. Add medium textures. And that's it. I think that's all I would do. And the resolution, I'll keep it the same. So again, if you want better graphics, I mean, you have now shadows, better draw distance, and all that. Again, since we cannot cap it to 30, it looks, in my opinion, significantly better like this, and you still get a similar frame time. And when you're getting hit very hard, it drops into 29, so not the worst deal in history. Okay, I'm getting better with aiming now. Whoa. So you have those options. Unfortunately, the stuttering will still be there. But it will be less apparent with the previous settings. Epic frame gen inherently has it, maybe you don't notice it, but you're... Oh, you're dying, boss. Okay, at least they stay still, but I'm about to die. But I'll do frame gen because you guys requested it. Just let me run a little bit. So I have some more footage, at least. But it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Have you tried AMD FSR? FSR doesn't look great in this game. That's why I'm using TSR. But FSR has a lot of issues in motion. Very, very chunky, and it has ghosting even on XeSS. If you're using XeSS, lots of ghosting. Okay. Oof. The input lag. Okay. No. Jesus Christ. This feels horrible. I mean, I can see around the character that there's artifacts. The crosshair gets artifacty when I move it. It's pretty distracting. And I'm not entirely sure this is actual... Yeah, I don't think it's jumping from 30 to 60, but if you look at it, I mean, apart from the input lag, the artifacts in this game are pretty obvious. Jesus. Good to see someone playing this on a handheld live. I mean, yeah, the thing with making handheld videos that I noticed, that I found pretty interesting, is that it's so easy to lie about the benchmarks in handhelds. I like doing it live due to that reason alone. I think it's more obvious that I'm not faking my results. Because people sometimes ask me about it, if I'm streaming the game from a console, or I don't know, if I'm altering the numbers. And at least I can give you my experience in real time. This part, for example, now with this frame gen, is kind of making me sick. Ugh, I cannot even speak properly now. Frame gen before he kills me. So frame gen off would be like this. This is without frame gen. So without frame gen, it's pretty respectable. It's into the 40s, that's why it can kind of get into the 60s. Not sure why it was hard locked to 60 though. But the thing is, here we have a decent base frame rate. Not much is happening right now in the game. At the beginning, sometimes it drops into the 30s. But with frame gen disabled, this is what you get, really. So if you use lossless scaling, you can frame gen the hell out of 40 FPS. But again, you can feel the input lag, it's not great. But people ask for it all the time. That's why I use it. But I have to clarify everywhere. This part of the video is with frame gen. Like, personally, I don't like using it, but it is what it is. So again, settings, recommended 800p, TSR 67%. This is quality upscaling, static lighting, and basically these settings right here. And we do not cap it to 30. Because when capping the frame rate, the game really doesn't like that. The frame times are all over the place. So unlock frame rates on this one and enjoy the game. And do not use a mouse and keyboard, otherwise it will be a stutter fest once more. The one thing that could work is if you disable the FPS cap on your Steam Deck menu and you put the screen at 40 Hz. And then enable VSync in game. That should probably give you a good FPS log now that I think about it. I cannot do it here because I'm connected to the capture card. But if you're fully handheld, that should actually work. Now that I think about it. Let's go to the armory. But yeah, the plan is to do Outer Worlds 2 at some point. Today was Ark Raiders because I wanted to give it a shot, and it was way cheaper than Outer Worlds 2. That's a big problem, I think. The biggest issue now, apart from the hardware being more expensive, is that games are super expensive. Comes to, they actually took their time to polish the game. At least when it comes to performance, I didn't rely on Nanite and Lumen. They have, okay, do you want dynamic lighting or backlighting only? It's like, okay, that's awesome. If this was a classic UE5 game, it would be forced ray tracing. And this one tells you, hey, if you don't want ray tracing, we have backlighting as well. It doesn't look as good, but it's there if you need it. The thing is that takes more time to develop something with that many options. Yeah, and the anti-cheat is not an issue on this one either. I could play the game just fine on Linux. So GG. You stay between 30 or upper 20s and the mid 40s in the game. If I find an alternative on locking it to something without having spikes in the frame time, I'll let you know about. On my side, I think this is worth playing on Steam Deck. Of course, the graphics will be compromised. But you can get away with a higher resolution if you don't mind some extra zamming to the 30s instead. GG, embark. I wasn't expecting to play this on Steam Deck, personally. But this feels pretty good. And well, the resolution is low, but on the smaller screen, it's fine. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.